الحمد لله الوالي الكريم وصلى الله على أنبياء أجمعين والمسيح والمهدي والمجدد لمن مرسلين. Are we not the bearers of witness that nothing would exist if Allah didn't create it? And that He is alone and has no partner? And that all gratitude is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the sustainer of all the boundless universes. All gratitude is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the generous eternal friend. And send salutations of Allah on all of His prophets and His apostles, and on the Messiah, the anointed one, and on the Mahdi, the guide, and on the Mujaddid, the reformer, which was all sent from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We send greetings and we send peace throughout the boundless universe to all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Hey man, it's the HOMIE U.T coming at you live in effect. So man, look, today what we got going on is we're actually doing a book review of none other but the Holy Quran. Alright, so this is my personal copy or whatever, and this is not in Arabic. I can't actually speak Arabic. This one here, it says it was translated by Abdullah Yusuf Ali. So that's the one that I'm using. It's translated, of course, into English. You know what I'm saying? So, but nonetheless, a little bit of background. Of course, just like many of us out there, I have family, and I got, both, people that believe in this and people that believe in that, and people, that would consider themselves followers of Christ, and people that would consider themselves followers of Muhammad. So, I got it on both sides in the family, and I had always been saying to myself, you need to go ahead and, get you a Quran and read the Quran. That way you can kind of understand more so what, because if you, here's my whole thing. If you just leave it up to the media or the news or the Fox, whatever, CNN or whatever, or even online, if you leave it up to people, they'll try to give you the image they want you to have. Muslims are this, Muslims are a bunch of terrorists, as they say, and or Islam is this or that, and they'll demonize something without you ever really understanding it, or you don't know what their agenda may be. You dig what I'm saying? So I don't just listen to everything that comes on Fox News or CNN or any of those media outlets, big media outlets or anything like that. So I told myself, let me do the research. Let me, look into these things for myself. That way I could get a better understanding. That way, whenever I do meet, my brother, I come across, run into my boy Ali or, Muhammad, you know what I'm saying? Or, D, or any of my partners, man, or anybody, bro. I'd at least be able to, tell them, and I'll be able to have something that I'm actually talking from a standpoint of perspective, legitimate. So that's why I did it for myself. You dig what I'm saying? So I just finished reading the entire Quran from cover to cover, you know, each and every last word, each and every last surah, you know, that way I could tell you my personal opinion on it, you know. And this is just part one, all right, because, you know, the Quran is such a and Islam, you know, it is very simple, very easy, you know, to understand and get, but at the same time, you can see it's something that, you know, is thick. It's not just one page and that's it, you know what I'm saying? So this is gonna be a series, at least 2 parts. This just being the first part, which is kind of understanding my background and, you know, what I've done. So I read this one time, all right, and just understanding why I'm doing this type of thing, you know, because a lot of people have questions, and a lot of people don't, you know how to answer, or they might, you know, a lot of people, bro. So, and a lot of us brothers, bro, we come from, you know, family that's either Christian or Muslim or you know what I'm saying? That's really what it is. Baptist, you know, First Baptist, you know what I'm saying? Gospel, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, I have read the Bible. I've read the Bible, okay, cover to cover. I can show you as well. I have a Bible. I've read that, you know, a few times. This was my first time actually reading the Quran. So, you know, but I want to make sure I make this clear. It's my first time reading the text and, you know, reading it for myself. But I have listened, you know, to many different people speak and lecture from and read the Quran and things of that nature, and to add to what I've, you know, studied on my own. But anywho, so I've read both books, and I've read both, you know, like I said, you know, this is a Quran, you know, this is the Holy Bible. It's the King James Version. It's not the 1611, but I do have that one as well. Anywho, so I read both, you know, texts or whatever. So again, I'm just laying down the background for everybody out there. You know, because a lot of Christians, they don't understand, you know, what is inside the Quran, and it's a lot of Muslims, they don't understand what's inside the Bible. So, you know, it's like that. And, you know, there's a point where there's some similarity, but I think what ultimately you have is so much that is lost because of language and translating the language into other languages. I'll say that. But my thing, I started this campaign a while back to raise the awareness, because I get so tired, I get so fed up, you know what I'm saying, with different some people, you know, especially, you know, black people just being ignorant, not knowing the truth or not knowing their roots or where they come from, you know, as black people, you know, with all of the things that have been done, you know, in our history, and, you know, stuff that you got to learn about, because it's not really spoken about in the schools as black people and things like that. But anywho, so, you know, I be wanting to raise the awareness, you know, that way. Because, all right, you know, we some of us, maybe there are some of you out there that can relate to saying, you know, we got somebody who been down to prison before. You know what I'm saying? I know I have. And one thing that I hate is when, or not hate, but it's always been kind of interesting. I hate it if I feel like it's for the wrong reasons and you just doing something just to do something. But when you see a dude go in there and then they like, hey, this dude was never religious, never anything, used to be a Christian. But then he go in there, or at least would say, because he was never a decent person anyways. But then he'd go in there and then all of a sudden he'd come out and now he's a Muslim. And, you know, I just be wondering why, like, man, why, you know, what's up with that? You know what I'm saying? And, you know, nothing wrong. Like, my whole thing is this. There also is nothing wrong with whatever, you know, brought you discipline and structure. But I just like to understand why. Now, if it is because, like, one guy, he explained to me, yo, man, them crackers been lying to us, and, you know, that Bible, that's the devil, and that's the white man's religion, and things like that. And, you know, so, you know, he turned to Islam, and he's like, you know, ain't no picture of God, you know, ain't no pictures of God, and, you know, God is one, and, you know, so I always felt like some people's, you know, reason to turn comes from the anger and the lies that they had or whatever, you know, and how they perceived those lies from the history of, you know, slavery and, you know, the white man, you know what I'm saying? But I always, like, one thing that I learned in my research was that, you know, slaves or slavery, or the Arabs or Arabs, or however you want to call it, you know, they also played a part in their own region enslaving blacks, Negroes from a whole nother place and suppressing them with Islam and, you know, Muslim and the Quran. So that had also, you know, taken place damn near around the same damn time as one people are being, these people, and I want to say even prior to, you know, those Hebrews and Negroes being enslaved and being indoctrinated, you know, with something else from a white man. Even before that, there were slavery and indoctrination, you know, into Islam by Arabs. So, you know, it's in, like again, my whole thing is I understand that I am I'm Nigerian, you know, so I'm black. So out the jump, I gotta understand, you know, my history, and, you know, apart from any institution or any indoctrination that could come from any race, you know what I'm saying? So, but hey, like I said, it's your boy U.T. giving you my review, man. It's just my review. We're gonna be going into it in the next video, man. Y'all stay tuned. Y'all please subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, stay healthy, my friends. Believe it.